Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW Tiger, the Tier 9 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Steppes and it's under the command of Boomer HE. Now this is the artillery that was actually based on the Tiger 2, not the Tiger 1, because they never built an Arty based on that hull. It was near completion by the time that it was captured by the British. Although some say that the Americans caught it. It was found at Haustenbeck near Paderborn. The actual Arty was virtually completed. It had the hull, but it was missing the recoil plate, and also the gun was lying on the ground nearby. In fact, there was two guns. It was a 17cm and a 21cm, and they actually came up with several other versions which they could have put into the hull. They started development in 1942. As I said, it was based on the Tiger 2 hull, but at that time the Tiger 2 was far more developed than the Tiger 1 than they had been previously when they were developing Arty based on other tanks, and so they decided to miss out the Tiger 1 altogether and actually just go ahead with the Tiger 2 hull. Okay. He's found his firing position. You can see the bushes in this corner look slightly different than they did before, in the old version of the map, the HD version. And we're aiming up the east side of the map, which is still the corridor that the medium tanks go to. And well, we've got an M48 Patton, which is a Tier 10 American medium. And he's got to the position, the junction at that corner, near where the encounter cap normally is. And Rheinmetall Panzerwagens decided to go down and try and take him on. That's a very bad move for the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, because the Patton has a 105mm gun. He's got chums. He's got chums with him. And the first shot hits the Patton for 547, and a lucky shot takes out the Patton from the Conqueror gun carriage. So that Rheinmetall Panzerwagen was living dangerously. Now the standard reload is 40.27 seconds, and I'm afraid we don't have any time up on the screen because, well, unfortunately we're running these replays without any mods. Although some would say that's good, because then you get a much clearer screen so you can see more of what's going on. He's loaded, ready to go. Aiming for the Mauschen. Rounds out. Should hit him square. Oh, went to the left. His chums are getting around him now to protect him. Oh! That was the Conqueror gun carriage again, so that guy's now got 2 kills. And the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen has been joined by the scoped T50, but they're taking on a T49 and a T54. There goes the T54, that was an ammo rack because it blew his turret clean off. And we're loaded. But there's so many enemy tanks nearby, and if we do fire, we're probably going to damage them at the same time. This was back when team damage was capable. And Arty players did have to think carefully before they shot. You see there that Boomer didn't fire. He didn't want to hit his own teammates and end up fined or turning blue because he actually damaged them. So you can see, tank drivers, we do think very carefully about shooting if we're going to damage our teammates. We don't want to damage them. What a shot! 418 hit points, but the kill shot actually went to the FV207. Okay, well, we're back on the east side of the map. There's a 704 up there hidden in the trees somewhere. We can't see him at the moment. But closer still, we've got a T100 LT, and there goes a Lorraine 40 ton. The Panzerwagen's still alive, but I don't think he will be for much longer, so that's T100 LT just blasted him. And rounds out by Boomer. Well, he got some damage on the T100 LT, but there's only one tank between him and that T100 LT now, and it's the Scorpion G. You can see him in the distance. That T100 might decide to come south and try and deal with Boomer. We're only one tank up on the enemy at the moment, so it's still anybody's game. All I can hope is that the T100LT sees what's going on the west side of the map, and instead of coming south, decides to head over to the west. And there's no guarantee of that, actually, and in fact the Scorpion G and the Tortoise are around the centre of the map, and it's the Arty who's actually been left holding the cap area, sort of. I suppose you could say the Scorpion G and the Tortoise would protect the cap area, and in fact they are moving towards it, but the problem is that T100LT might sneak down the east side of the map, and that's why Boomer is aiming just ahead of him, expecting the enemy to appear on the hill. So the map's a lot easier to play on, really, because of all the extra scenery you do have on the new version. The old version was still fairly good to play, but it has been greatly modified. It's waiting for the first sight of the enemy, and he has turned up. There he is. T100LT didn't go over to the other side. Now, can he get a shot on this guy while he's trying to get shots on our enemy, or our teammates rather? Well, he lost sight of him, but he got a direct hit. And the T100LT burned up. He appeared as a wreck a few seconds later after he was driving away, so he must have been set alight, and that probably is an arsonist. Okay, we're looking over onto the far west side of the map after the railway line. There appears to be a Chrysler GF up there. The old Chrysler GF, which used to be impenetrable, as Foch complained bitterly, but it wasn't really. Oh! And there's another kill shot. The Striv took a hell of a beating from the Scorpion just before he killed the Scorpion, but the shot from Boomer came in and blew the Striv back to the garage. So now there's only 5 enemies left. They've got a heavy tank, the Chrysler. They've got a tank destroyer, the 704, and 3 Arties. And there goes the Chrysler. They're not undefeatable. I was going to say impregnable, but I don't think anyone's tried to make one pregnant. Oh, that's an old joke, that, isn't it? Okay, he's loaded. Rounds out 704. Bit late, but he does get some splash. 149. The T-34 is making his way up the centre of the map. Oh, don't cut across to try and kill the 704. It looks like he's gone to the very edge of that gully. And he is trying to cut straight across the field against the 704. That might not be a good idea, because the 704 might see him coming and set up an ambush on him. Now we're moving up the map, and the Arty are coming south towards us. And they have been spotted by the Tortoise, so we're lining up for a shot on the Object 261, but changed our mind and going for the M40, M43. It's not fully dialed in yet. Wait for it, wait for it. This looks good. Rounds out. This could be a kill. It is. That was lovely done. That was beautiful. He waited, let it dial in fully. Then he took his shot, and it went perfectly straight to target. Now, even if you do that after Wargaming make the changes that are coming up soon, you're not going to get a kill, because either the thing won't penetrate, the shell won't have enough strength, or it'll miss the target altogether because the enemy moves out of the way, because they get advance warning. Rounds out the Object 261. Kill shot! That was a really good one as well. Object 261 was confined in what he could do. He had to back up the way he was backing up. And we just lost our Conqueror gun carriage to the 704, which indicates that he is fairly close. He must have sneaked past the T-34 and managed to get along the south edge of the map. I would not be surprised if we find out any second that the FP207 has also been wiped out. But it's not going to happen to Boomer, because he's what they would call DD mowing up the east side of the map, trying to get to the cap area. But he also wants to find a position where he can shoot back as soon as they do find him. And they have taken out the FP207, and there he is. He's up in the cliff area. Of course, we're still waiting for the vehicle to turn around. It's very slow. In fact, actually, he was moving. He must have hit the wrong key. And when he wanted to turn around and aim at the enemy, and sadly, he was just reversing in cruise control. And now he's lost sight of the 704. And that's not good news, because the 704 might be making his way up this side of the map towards us. The T-34 is still too far away at the moment to spot him. Only trouble is, if Boomer stays where he is, he's likely to become the next victim, and he's the only member of his team who's actually managed to get any hit points. Or any kills, rather, not hit points. This is not good. Now he's aiming towards where he was last situated, because I think he's expecting the 704 would go look in that direction. But I still think he shouldn't be sticking around here. The T-34's hovering near the cap area. But I'm pretty certain that 704 is headed up this end. Oh no, he's not. He's actually turned around and he's going back towards the cap. I think he's seen the T-34 and he wants to take that guy on as well. So, can we get a shot into target? Rounds out. Too short. Way too short. Was still within the reticule, but the reticule wasn't fully dialed in. So we've got the Tortoise at one end being attacked by the M53, M55, and the 704 has just derped the T-34 with his big 152mm. And of course that's going to happen again, even though the T-34 has just fired another round in. So it's now entirely down to Boomer to take out this 704. Oh dear! Get him, Boomer! He's getting in close, but oh, the T-34 redeems himself. And now we just need to take care of this M53, M55. He's hovering there near the cap. The Tortoise has decided to decap and come after the M53, who probably knows it's his last chance. And rounds out. That's a kill. So that's all three enemy Arty were taken out by Boomer. And that's the end of the game. And here's the results, and it was a first-class tanker for Boomer HE in the GW Tiger. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 12. An Arsonist, yes, he set light to that T100LT. He didn't get very far before he burned up and appeared as a wreck. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5 in the end, 1/3 of the enemy team, and just 1 short of getting a top gun. And on top of all that, he got the counter battery fire badge because he took out all 3 enemy Arty. The Object 261, the M40, M43, and finally that M53, M55. And let's have a look at the team score and see how much damage he really did. Well, he actually did very well in that game, because although he didn't get the highest damage in the game, that went to the T100LT that he killed, 3,723 hit points. He did get the second highest damage in the game with 3,439. When it came to kills, he had the highest number in the game. 5 kills went to Boomer HE, 4 kills went to the T100LT and the Object 704 on the enemy time, who really got close to getting that T-34. I felt almost certain that that T-34 was about to become a goner. But yes, he did finally manage to get the kill shot in, take the 704 out the game. And 3 kills went to the Conqueror gun carriage, who seemed to be kill stealing a few as he was lobbing, because Boomer was lobbing shells in and the Conqueror was following up almost immediately afterwards. And the shell was landing and taking out a target that Boomer had already stripped of hit points. When it came to base XP, yes, it's Boomer who got that one. So he got the top in 2 columns. 1,076 went to Boomer, 852 to the FB207, and 772 went to the Scorpion on his own team. He fired 11 shots in that game, 6 direct hits, 6 penetration, 5 splash. Damage of 3,439 hit points, of which 2,642 were at more than 300 meters. He did accidentally hit one of his own teammates in that game and lost him 168 hit points in the process, so he was fined. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 434 hit points of damage assistance, plus 903 hit points of stun assist off 6 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 50,250 credits, but he was fined 4,206 credits for accidentally damaging a teammate, and 46,044 credits was the grand total. And after deduction of the ammunition, he took away a profit of 23,164 credits. 1,614 XP, 807 for playing for personal reserves, and took away 2,421 experience points altogether. So that was a pretty good game for the GW Tiger and Boomer. In fact, as you can see, old version of Arty, way back, you didn't always get it your own way because sometimes the shells would go astray, but it was much more fun back then. And this was just after the stun mechanic had been brought in. It wasn't long after, because this is a 9.2 client, and back then when stun was brought in was 9.18. We do have games comparing a pre-stun Arty with a post-stun Arty, or a modern Arty, and you can see a visible difference that the old Arty used to be able to one-shot enemy heavy tanks out of existence fairly easily if they could get the shot on target. They didn't always get the shot on target though, because RNG was a lot harsher back in those days. But there is a big difference. Wargaming have nerfed Arty persistently and consistently throughout its entire history. They've never buffed it. They've always nerfed it. They've always tried to destroy it. It's a case of they tried to damage the Arty player's ability to take out enemy tanks. And even when they nerf it, the Arty player adapts and gets better and better to try and score the same amount of damage. And then Wargaming goes and nerfs Arty all over again to try and stop us from doing the same sort of damage we used to do before. But this time round, they are intent on making Arty irrelevant. It'll be so damaged by the changes they're intending to make that effectively it'll be ineffective. You won't be able to play the game. And if tank drivers are hoping on Arty being able to support them when they've lost all their hit points, well, they're not going to get any support, are they? Because the Arty won't be able to. Wargaming will have nerfed Arty to such an extent that we will just be incapable of helping our teammates to win a game. And in a sense, why should we help our teammates to win a game? After all, it's Wargaming, and of course some of those teammates who whined about Arty and decided to nerf it. So I think, it's be careful what you wish for if you whine about Arty all the time, because it might be that when you want Arty on your side to help you and defend you and win the game for you, they won't be able to, because Wargaming will have destroyed Arty. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.